What's going on, everyone? It's Jamie here from Shopify Masterclass, and today we're going to be covering how to boost your profit for your Shopify store, and this is going to be in 2022 here. So we're going to go over a really effective overall strategy on how you can do it. We'll go over into specifics as well on different strategies under the formula we have to boost your profits. So make sure you stay to the end of the video so you can get a full understanding there. Before I dive into it, I want to mention Profit Calc, the one-click profit calculator app for Shopify. It's available via a 15-day free trial, available on the Shopify App Store. And there's a link in the description below. I'm just going to show you a quick video detailing all their features. Let's now dive into the formula for boosting your profits. And so that formula here is going to be your average order value times frequency times the number of customers. And so it's going to be the formula you want to focusing on each of these inputs here. Increase your revenue, increasing your sales, overall increasing your overall profit. So let's dive into each section of this formula here. And so the first one is going to be AOV, and that's going to stand for average order value. So it's going to be the size of the order that each of your customer places with your store. And so typically when you get a customer to your website, you want to get them purchasing as much as possible at one time, because you spent that money to acquire them and you want to make sure it's the most profitable interaction you can have. And so having a high average order value helps to accomplish this. For example, if you have a customer and they purchase a $5 product versus if they spent $150, and let's say your margins are 40% on each, let's say 50% for easier math, you're making $250 per customer, or you're making $75 per customer. Which one would you rather have here? So you want to make sure that you're doing the following. You want upsells, cross-sells, and quantity discounts. Typically, each Shopify store should have every single one of these options. Now, there are apps available on the Shopify App Store, making it easy to initiate these. There's also post-purchase upsells as well, where after a customer purchases, they're going to sell them something else at a discounted rate. But because they've just purchased something, they have that dopamine rush, so they're going to be more likely to purchase something else. And typically, you want to tie it so things are included together and that they're related. Maybe if you're buying a barbecue, you're buying the tongs, you're buying materials to clean it, to upkeep it, you're buying a mat to put the barbecue on, you can make sure they're all related so the customer is getting everything they need at once. And overall, this is beneficial for the customer too, as it's a one-stop shop. So the second one we'll take a look at here is frequency. So this is going to be getting customers to come back to your website. You spent that money to acquire them the first time, maybe 6 months, 3 months, 2 months down the line. Depending on your product, you're going to try to get them to come back again. And so you can do that with win-back campaigns here. So win-back campaigns can be done through email, text messaging, or WhatsApp, depending on your medium of communication, but you're going to try to incentivize that customer to come back to your website. Maybe it's offering them a discount of 10%. Maybe it's telling them about something they need to add for their product. Maybe they're buying something like a soda stream, and 3 months, 6 months down the line, you're reminding them to come back and refill the carbonation so they can keep on using their product. Maybe you're giving them a discount. Maybe you're shipping it directly to them. And along with that, maybe you're saying, oh, here's another 20% off a second soda stream so you can give it to a friend because we know you like yours so much. Along with win-back campaigns, you can have good first customer interactions. So this is going to be making sure that the initial purchase goes well, the shipping goes well, the packaging is nice, the product is good quality, and if the customer really likes that, has a great experience, they're going to be more likely to come back as they now trust your brand. They know that you can deliver the goods. They know that the goods are good quality and they address their needs. Maybe they're not purchasing for them, maybe they're purchasing for a friend or a relative, but setting up that good first interaction is going to set everything on the right note going forward. So the third part of the formula here is going to be the number of customers. This is what most people do. They focus on just getting more sales to their store, really ignoring the average order value and the purchase frequency, which are really going to help boost the profitability, as this one is the most expensive, but it's going to drive everything else. And it's going to allow you to focus on profitable growth. That's something you want to make sure what you're doing when you're acquiring customers. You want to know that if you're spending $15 to acquire a customer, you're going to be making that back and more once they purchase from your store. And so this can be done through any medium that you're using to get customers. So it could be paid traffic, could be SEO, could be blogging, it could be providing educational content. Every store is going to have a different strategy depending on what they sell here, but this is going to drive the other two. So this one is very important still in that regard, but it is going to be the most expensive one. Lastly, let's go over some general tips here on improving your profitability. The first one is just going to be have good retargeting. You want to make sure that your retargeting is set up, that you're getting customers to come back, as these are generally your most profitable ad campaigns here, as the customer has already seen your product, they've seen the brand, they've showed some interest. So having good retargeting is extremely important, and it's really easy to set up with Google ads or Facebook ads there. So make sure you're doing a good job with that. The other general tip is just to simply lower your expenses. Are you spending too much money on different apps you don't need? Maybe you're hiring VAs for too many hours when you could be doing that work yourself. Maybe you have different subscriptions that are really causing you to be unprofitable. Make sure you analyze your expenses line item by line item. This can also apply to different ad expenses as well. Maybe you're spending too much money on certain campaigns. It's really easy to ignore it and think you're going to make that money back, but you want to make sure that you're profitable all the way through, unless you have some really good growth strategy and you know it's going to pay off in the end. Just really making sure you're going through every line item by line item and making sure that they are essential. The next one is going to be to only advertise on channels that you know are working. Many people try to advertise on every single paid platform out there, but in reality, it could be just Facebook, it could be just Google Shopping that are working for you. So make sure you stick with the profitable ones, unless you're testing a new campaign. But if you're just throwing money out in the wind and hoping that it works, that's going to really drag down your profitability, as margins are so slim in e-commerce. That brings us to our last general point here, and that's going to be margin room. Maybe easy to say, all right, we're making $15 on a $30 product. Maybe we're making $15 on a $100 product. You want to make sure that your margin room is there to not only account for the cost of acquiring a customer. There's going to be other expenses in there. You have your fixed fees, such as your Shopify fees. You can have transaction fees. You can have different monthly expenses. So not having that proper margin is going to make it so you are actually unprofitable at the end, even though it kind of looks like you're making money on each sale. Making sure you have that margin room to account for all the extra expenses, the refunds, the chargebacks, anything that comes along with running an e-commerce store. You want to make sure you have enough room to weather all that there. So overall, that was a lot of talking. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would love if you hit that like and subscribe button below. And I want to also mention our sponsor, Profit Calc, one-click profit calculator app for your Shopify store, available on the App Store right now with a 15-day free trial, so you can test drive everything for yourself. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.